These men stop Widnes retaining the Stonesbitter Championship. Wigan arriving at Weldon Road for a test of nerves against the team who led the league for so long, Castleford. Castleford have now slipped to third. Their chance seems to have gone. 5 points behind Widnes, and they've played a game more. But Wigan are on a winning run, and they still have Widnes to play. Leeds have only 2 matches left, and they were knocked off the top by Widnes on Thursday. That's when Widnes beat Castleford at Norton Park in a game Cass really had to win to retain any realistic hope of getting the title. Andy Currier with the first try there for Widnes. Castleford did have their moments but couldn't translate them into tries except for this one from young Phil Murphy. Widnes it was though who dominated for long periods, particularly as the second half wore on, and there were 2 tries from this man, Martin of Fire. 48 at start of play, and you don't catch a fire in that move. Towards the end, the moment that many of the crowd had come, especially to see the second try of the match and the 50th of the season for Martin O'Fire, the first man for nearly 30 years to score half a century of tries from the wing. That defeat rather put the seal on Castleford's amazing slump. They've dropped 11 points in the last 6 matches. Before that, they'd appeared to be running away with the title. So no doubt some hard words have been spoken at the regular pre-match team meeting by the coach Darryl van der Veld.
Obviously, I'm bitterly disappointed. You know, it's all that hard work we put in at the start of the year, and now it hasn't come to fruition. But you know, we can still run second, John, and that's the most important thing. You know, it's crunch time today. We must win this game today, and if we're going to be any chance in this premiership race, which is at the end of the after Wembley, well, we must win this game today.
There's still pride, winning money, and a top 4 spot to play for, of course, even though several regulars are missing today. Kevin Beardmore, the Great Britain hooker, is out with cartilage trouble, so Dean Blankley plays his first full game. John Joyner is back from injury at loose forward, and Phil Murphin, Thursday's try-scorer at Widnes, drops substitute. Well, up front, Cass will rely on Keith Beefy England. He returns to the Great Britain ranks this season, and his experience is vital with 1 or 2 young men around him. David Watkins.
He is a big and powerful forward whose short, sharp bursts and strength to break tackles has been a feature of his play. He's a tough tackler with a no-nonsense approach. His play this year has been rewarded by inclusion in the Great Britain squad.
And here come the visitors, who lost a titanic struggle here by 2 points last season. They still have hopes of the Cup and League double, of course. Ellery Handley plays at centre today, having shaken off a knock. This with Tony Iro injured and Kevin Iro not cleared to play by the New Zealand board. Joe Lydon passed a fitness test this morning, and as substitute, John Gilfillan, a 23-year-old signed from the Oral Rugby Union Club after 3 18 games. A week ago, it was Joe Lydon who kept Wigan in the Challenge Cup with a drop goal from his own half and 9 points altogether in the match.
He's one of the game's most versatile players. His speed, flair and controlled aggression make him a complete player. He's a good goal kicker and is capable of drop-kicking goals from anywhere, as that prodigious effort in the semi-final of the Challenge Cup illustrated. His try-scoring feats at club and international level put him among the game's elite.
Well, there's some of Castleford's disabled fans. They always get an excellent view here at Weldon Road, but well wrapped up today. It really is very wet, the rain almost horizontal at times, but nonetheless a very good crowd to see what should be a cracking game between these 2 teams. Coming up later on Scrum Down, action from 2 other games. Widnes meet Bradford, the only team to take a point from them in 1989, and Sheffield Eagles try to clinch their first promotion against Chorley. Plus our try of the season competition, your chance to win a VIP family day out at the Stonesbitter Premiership final in May. So we're all set. Our match commentators David Watkins and John Hell.
Thanks, Nick. A lot to look forward to indeed. And especially here at Castleford this afternoon, every game has been important to us this season. But this one is really important to Wigan. They have to win to maintain their hopes of the title. Castleford simply have to win to get back some of their lost morale. And referee Frank Tickle from St Helens awards the first penalty of the game, and he awards it to the home team. safely put away by Martin Kettridge, who's back in his more familiar role in the second row, having played it loose forward at Widnes. And here comes Kevin Ward. David, Kevin Ward is one of those fellas, he'll try right to the end of the season for Castleford.
Well, yes, I think they have. It's been a disappointing end to the season for Castleford. They promised so much at the start of the season, and it's all fallen away in the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Here's one of the youngsters who's come in, Roy Southernwood, preferred to Bob Beardmore. Anderson, nice little kick too, and Steve Hansen confidently taking it. That's a really good take by Hansen, and here's Adrian Shelford, who looks bigger every time I see him. This time the penalty has gone to Wigan. Well, we know that Joe Lydon can kick the ball a long way, but he's not done so this time. Hungrily clutched by Tony Marchant. He too is back in the cast team. He was missing at Widnes. Kettridge. I think we might see quite a bit of that today. The ball's going to be very greasy. This persistent rain that we're having. Not the sort of conditions that players relish.
Well, no, it isn't. It is cold. It is raining heavily now, and there's a strong wind blowing down the field behind Castleford's back. Wigan know they have a hard task on their hands, but they're such a professional outfit.
There's an astute kick by Gregory. Marchant in trouble. And Hanley will hack the ball on here, and play's going on, and Wigan could have a try. In fact, the penalty has been given to Wigan. As Ellery Hanley tried to kick on there, he was impeded. Kevin Ward certainly didn't approve of the decision. When things are going against you, it's amazing how those sort of things seem to happen. Well, this should be well within the capacity of Joe Lydon. It is. Wigan have their first points, 2-0. Just what they needed and just what Castleford didn't need. Shelford now. Ball lost, Castleford have it and playing the ball off the ground. Oh dearie me. Well, they're all fumbling it at the moment. Nobody seems to be able to keep hold of it. Well, the referee's going to sort that one out.
Well, that's a difficulty. I've noticed Castleford now are really on edge a little. They are not doing things, trying to rush things through, trying to knock people instead of realising that the game is all about taking your time and making sure the passes go to hand.
There's been no width about the game as yet, and that kick, as you can see, goes out on the full from Sean Edwards, who acknowledges his indiscretion. Sean Edwards on his way to Wembley again, and in a good try-scoring vein at the moment. 7 of those 18 tries have come in the last 7 games. Wigan's ball. Hanley, he'll set off. Just caught him by the ankle. Gregory saw a gap, darted into it. Might have been better advice to go right. Oh, and he looked hurt to me there. Gregory looked badly hurt. You could see the agony on his face immediately. That looked as though it could have been a bad one. Physiotherapist Keith Mills is on the pitch already. You really could see the expression on Gregory's face.
Well, here he is. Andy has now sized up the opposition, starts to take them on at short range. Now, just here, he gets caught by this tackle and comes over and is pulled backward with the hooker, knocking him from the front, and that's obviously hurt him.
Andy Gregory, nice swear I heard a crack almost as he went down. But it would be tragic for Wigan if they were to lose such an influential player for the Rugby League Challenge Cup final.
Well, yes, it would, because he's been such a key figure. At half-back is where it all really happens. He links up well between backs and forwards. He's such an influential player, has so many skills. It will be a great shame, of course, and a great effect on the Wigan side if he was to miss out.
So he's been replaced by Ian Potter. And it'll be Joe Lydon once the ball decides to stay in place. Well, it's curling and swirling, and it's gone over the sticks as well. Good kick. Didn't look as though it was going to have the legs, but in the end it just trickled over that crossbar. And 2 Lydon goals give Wigan a 4-point start. Lucas. Oh, and Edwards, clever, really clever that by Sean Edwards. That's a long kick for everybody to chase, and Chapman should get there first. I was a bit surprised at Sean Edwards then. I thought he might have carried on running a little bit.
Well, I think he was thinking, as they're playing against the wind. The long kick down the field means that Castleford are in their own 25 again, and it really means that we're going to have to keep them there now and takes the pressure off their own defence.
Good run here from Giles Boothroyd. He didn't make a lot of ground because he was running diagonally. This time it's a penalty for Castleford. Well, there have been so many stoppages in the match. Really is the softening up process in the early moments of a game. It
is really. The referee has done 1 or 2 good things. I mean, he is picking people up on points all the time, high tackles, going in. That's quite an incredible kick then. It just goes to show you the sort of frame of mind in which the Castleford players are in at the moment. They really don't know what's hit them, I don't think, this last few weeks.
It also showed the strength of the wind. Really carried the ball back. Now Castleford really need a break of some sort just to regain their confidence. And the ball is put down, and the referee says no penalty. Ticks off Kettridge, and Darrell van der Velde is not happy about that decision at all. He obviously thought the ball had been illegally wrestled away from Kettridge, that Castleford should have had a penalty. As it is, it'll be a scrum with Wigan to put the ball in. And it's just symptomatic of Castleford at the moment.
Well, they're all appealing together, and really what they want to do is worry more about the game and what's actually happening with the referee's decisions.
We've only had 17 minutes, we've had 10 penalties. Now Castleford with Dean Blankley. Now Keith England, a ramrod of a forward, and he went straight into Adrian Shelford. Now this is young Paul Crabtree, and youth very much being given its fling here by Castleford today. Southernwood, John Joyner, he's hardly one of the youngsters in the team, but they have surrounded him today with some inexperienced lads like Dean Blankley, who's just 20. Paul Crabtree, who was 19 yesterday. 2 young subs as well, and penalty here for offside against Wigan. And they'll run in at Wigan now. How badly they need a try, and here's Blankley. Seems so unusual not to see Kevin Beardmore with the number 9 jersey on. Joyner, kidded them there, gets the ball in from Tony Marchant, who almost hopped over the line, tried to wriggle his way through. Can Castleford get themselves a try? Grant Anderson, at least their leading try scorer this season. Wigan's tackling good and effective. And now on the last tackle, Southernwood kicks, Ruckley takes and Ruckley squeezes in. Well, it really is what Castleford wanted, a terrific fillet for them. Fullback David Ruckley is the scorer. A lot of the credit went to the young scrum half, Roy Southernwood.
Well, they've persevered at the Wigan line. They've tried just everything. Southernwood kicks ahead, a little fortuitous, but nonetheless Ruckley's on the spot to score, and that'll do them the power of good.
So David Ruckley's 6th try of the season brings the scores level 4 points apiece. Martin Kettridge with the rain dripping off the end of his nose. Attempts to add 2 more. And that's not going to quite come round sufficiently. Good kick, and good to see it appreciated as well by the Castleford fans. Few ums and ahs around the ground again. Ruckley, the try scorer, kicks for touch and puts it straight out of play. Well, difficult conditions all round. Just the 1 try scored in these opening 25 minutes. Edwards to Hanley. Edwards again, and he keeps finding these gaps. Brilliant that. And Jedburn pops up on the right-hand side. Took a smack in the mouth there. And Edwards again curses himself. I think he might have been able to go all the way. Ian Lucas drives in, and Ian Lucas keeps going. Powerful fellow, but it's picked up, snaffled here by Grant Anderson for Castleford. Last twice now that I've been surprised that Sean Edwards, having made the initial break, hasn't gone all the way.
Yes, he's most certainly cut 2 big holes in the Castleford defence, and he seemed the first time, I can understand the first time kicking, perhaps then he should have gone a little further and drawn the defence to him before throwing the ball out to Jedburn.
Well, Andy Gregory has taken his place in the dugout. Obviously injured his ankle, and let's just hope it's not too serious. Well, I think it's the last we'll see of Andy Gregory today. Oh, good ball slipped by Kevin Ward for Dean Blankley. Again, Ruckley will kick. He's a left-footed kicker, and this one pops up for Steve Hampson. Took it on the burst. been tackled by Boothroyd. Well, if Wigan came here thinking they were going to have an easy passage, it's certainly not turning out that way.
It hasn't. Both sides are really trying to find a pattern of play at the moment. They score ebbing them forward.
Edwards again. Now this time will he get there? Oh, he's still going. Superb running from Sean Edwards. He really is a tremendous footballer. A good brain on him. And he's made the best incursion so far in this game into Castleford's defence. Betts takes the pass from Hanley. And they might look to use Hanley's strength here. Ellery Hanley, he won't need a great deal of strength, but he will score his try. Hanley always pops up in those situations, as he did then for his 25th try of the season, and Great Britain's captain takes Wigan back in front.
Well, Wigan putting pressure. He's just had a great run now. They're moving the ball out along the line. Platt takes the ball into the defence, but Betts comes up on his shoulder again, and that's good support play by the forward. Castleford now trying to reorganise their defence, but Sean Edwards just steadies it up, and when this fella Hanley gets the ball, very little can stop him that close to the line.
Well, he always seems to score whenever Wigan are on scrum down. He really has the most phenomenal scoring record in the game, Ellery Hanley. And here's Joe Lydon. Well, screws it wide this time. But Hanley's try gives Wigan an 8 points to 4 advantage. Well, unfortunately we did have a short power break there, but you're back live with us now. All that's happened in the time you were away was that Joe Lydon kicked one penalty goal to make the score Castleford 4, Wigan 10, but we're now back live with the action. So it'll be Wigan's put in at the scrum from Sean Edwards with Andy Gregory off the field. Hanley. This time Hanley can't get past Grant Anderson. Took a bit too long to weigh up his options then. Andy Goodway. Hanley acting half back, leaves out Lucas. Tackling by Castleford has been tigerish in this little period here, and Lydon again elects to kick, won't find touch. Chris Chapman's chance to run it out, but he can't get very far there. Wigan leading by 10 points to 4. And again they've pinned them down back inside their own 25, and they're relying on these barnstorming runs by Kevin Ward. Pure brute strength took him that far. Let's see if Hampson's got a clean pair of hands again. What? He looks such a confident catcher. Good to see his shoulders standing up to the tackling as well. Shelford for Wigan. Seen a lot of him. At least the rain has eased. As Nicky Kiss makes a good break at acting half back. Tried to get the ball away for Ian Lucas. An appreciation from the Wigan fans. Now it's Sean Edwards. Lucas. Byrne. And Hanley had run in front of him. But there was no obstruction, but they are on the last tackle now. And Edwards straight to Chapman. Potter's tackling good as always. Half time it is here at Weldon Road. So the team's going away for the break with the visitors Wigan leading by 10 points to 4. try apiece then. Ruckliffe for Castleford, Hanley for Wigan. 3 goals from Joe Lydon. Wigan lead 10-4. Join us for the second half after this break. Second half at Weldon Road. Castleford's turn to kick off, trailing by 10 points to 4. And Wigan fans considerably heartened by the news that Bradford are leading at Widnes at half-time. And that is Tony Marchant with the blue headgear. I wonder where he took a knock in the first half, David.
Well, it is a protective cover, and I suppose it must be helping him. He probably would have had a cut or a bang in the first half.
I do hope our technical problems are not spoiling your enjoyment of the game. We are continuing to give you the best coverage possible. He really loves his rugby league, Keith England. Keeps working. Dean Blankley has had a good game as the stand-in hooker for Kevin Beardmore. Kevin Ward finds himself falling over a pile of bodies. England still no way through. Last tackle. Well, they could go for a drop, but they really do need a try. And Joyner, Southernwood. Joyner will keep the momentum going here. Can't get the ball away, and it's the handover. So cheers from Wigan's fans. Foreman then in at the tackle. Now it's Shelford's turn. Hanley showing all his own zip and his strength, and Hanley, he really is one of the strongest men in the game. Edwards trying to put a little punishing kick in. Well, Chapman did well. He knocked the ball back, and that's perfectly okay. But still, Edwards has put Castleford back inside their own 25.
I think both sides now have resorted to one man, one run, and as a result of it, they're not making any play at all as a team. It's just been charging into the middle, making it easier for the tacklers.
Oh, Ward lost it there. It's happened twice in the tackle to him. Ellery Hanley tried to get that ball away for Dean Bell. Not even Hanley could do that. Often such a marked man, of course. Edwards again, the kick over the top this time. Oh, and he's flattened. The referee saw nothing wrong with the challenge on Edwards, though. Still the tackling good. Edwards for Byrne, for Hanley. Still tries to get that one away. How does he stand up in it? Well, that's extraordinary from Hanley. He's forced out now, but he just seems to stand up in the tackle. They tried to knock him over and they can't do it.
He's absolutely incredible. He says much for the power of the man concerned, that he can knock off tacklers, stand them still, and waltz his way through the tightest of defences.
Wigan's fans singing that they're going to win the league. Well, Joe Lydon tries to add another point to the tally. Now we have the first points of the second half. Well, not quite as prodigious as his one that helped to win the semi-final, but a good effort nonetheless.
Well, equally important, and they've made their pressure pay once again. And isn't it incredible when you have so many talented players behind the scrum? Somebody can produce something at any given time, and he certainly produced the goods on that occasion.
Last tackle now. Still Wigan leading 11-4, and Edwards kicking straight down the field. The catch by Ruckley is as good as usual. Tony Marchant coming in field. Get to about 10 yards. I suppose Castleford now will be even wondering if they're going to make the top four.
Well, that's a difficulty they have. They've really gone into their shell. The 4 or 5 defeats that they've had now in the last 6 games haven't helped at all.
Yes, that's the record. Just 1 point from the last 6 games. Having had such a tremendous start to the season. Joyner flings out the long pass. Oh, and if he'd have got that one away to Hanley, they wouldn't have stopped him. That was a bit deliberate. That's clinging on to Shelford's pass. Andy Platt now. Edwards, good way. Well, this time they do keep the move going with Kiss. Long ball out for Betts. And this could be tricky. Now that really is an awkward one to handle. Is the try given? Yes it is. Dean Bell taking it behind the try line. Perfect catch by him, perfect try for Wigan. Hanley smiles, Bell's happy, and Wigan have gone 15-4 into the lead.
Well, who would have thought it would have come from that situation? Lydon looking at the defence, kicked it up in the air, the defence was flat, hesitation, Wigan as always backing up every ball. Dean Bell took it and really over unopposed, and I would say that's the final nail in the coffin.
Lydon, 2 more points from his right boot. And at 17-4, the game surely belongs to Wigan.
Yes, and that's shown by the number of people now walking off the terraces. Another disappointing performance, I suppose, by Castleford at home.
Wood has kept grafting at half-back, but still learning his trade, the Great Britain under-21 man. And with a depleted side, it's been difficult for him. As Castleford do try and move it around. A little kick through, seems to be obstructed, but not in the end. Hanley can't pick it up. The referee awards a penalty to Castleford, which they'll run. They might as well at this stage. It's Lydon whose tackling is effective. Joyner thinks of the longer pass, and it's put down to ground. Wigan have the ball back as the final hooter goes. 2 more points for Wigan. Only the 1 try in the second half coming from Dean Bell. They've taken the points here by 17 points to 4, and I suppose just kept alive their hopes of the championship and the double. Well, not surprisingly, the man of the match is on the Wigan side. He's now with David Watkins.
Well, we witnessed another win by Wigan again here this afternoon. Fine performance in difficult conditions. But for me, the man of the match award this afternoon goes to none other, the Stones Bitter man of the match award, that is, to Sean Edwards. Well, a good performance again today, and you must think the championship is in your grasp.
Well, we just got to take every game as it comes. I'd like to thank the rest of the lads for helping me out to win this award today, and also I'd like to thank my dad for letting me play rugby.
Well done, and I hope everything goes well for you.
Thank you very much.
Now, your side today didn't include either of the Iro brothers. Now, what is the story? Because Kevin Iro apparently is not cleared to play for you. Now, what is the story behind this?
Well, Tony Iro was not playing because he's got a bad dose of the flu, but he has actually got a full clearance to play here in Britain. Kevin Iro is on what they call an off-season clearance, in which he's only cleared till the 31st of March. And for that reason, we couldn't play him. The New Zealand Rugby League have actually said that they will grant him a further clearance on the 19th of this month as preparation to the match at Wembley. But in the meantime, he's got to sit here twiddling his thumbs.
It's your belief, though, isn't it, that Widnes have been playing Joe Grimmer without a clearance too?
Well, it's not my belief. I can only go by what I'm told, and everybody's well aware that Joe hasn't got a clearance over there, and he's allowed to get away with it. So the way I see it, it's very, very plain. You either have to have a clearance or you don't have to have one. It's simple. Put it this way, if we had to put Kevin Iro on the field today, I'm quite sure we would have lost our 2 points.
So are you saying that Widnes, having played Joe Grimmer in matches this season, could have had points deducted for them?
No, well, I don't know what the background is and what the British Rugby League's view and that they've taken and why they've allowed him to play. But what I'm saying is if a side played us with a player that hasn't got a clearance, I'd be pretty upset about it.
Well, now today's other news, and the main story, Bradford topple the leaders. Widnes are knocked off the top. Carl Fairbank got one of the tries in a fine performance by the Oddsall pack. Highlights in a moment. Elsewhere, Paul Delaney's second half try at Warrington takes Leeds back to the top. James Lulai's among the tries as Wakefield recover to beat St Helens and ensure First Division survival. In the Second Division, Mark Aston keeps up his record of scoring in every game as Sheffield win promotion. Well, now let's see how the shock of the day came about. It's Widnes against Bradford Northern, who needed to win to be safe from relegation.
The weather was atrocious on the other side of the Pennines, but Widnes got the early score they expected with that try from Andy Currier. And Currier it was too, who popped over the conversion to his own try. It was no more than Widnes had expected against a Bradford side that struggled in recent weeks. But on this day, Bradford were always willing to throw the ball around. Pendlebury and Harry Pinner kept it alive there, and when Carl Fairbank managed to get to within a couple of yards of the Widnes try line, it took 4 home players to haul him down. At the play the ball, referee Cross spots an infringement and awards the penalty to Bradford Northern. Simplicity itself for David Hobbs. And Bradford on the scoreboard. But Widnes too in the early stages looked as though they were in their most fluent form. Prop forward Pike and second row man O'Neill both involved in the move there. And at the play the ball, Mackenzie finds Pike at his shoulder again, and a good supporting run here opens the way for Mike O'Neill to score another try in what's turning out to be a really good season for the former Great Britain international. Everything seemed to be going just the way Widnes had expected, especially when Currier tagged on another 2 points. Widnes led 12-2 at that stage. A bad day for watching and a bad day for playing though. But Bradford seemed to be revelling in the conditions, especially scrum half Paul Harkin approaching his best form again. And Steve McGowan, well, he proved himself a contortionist with that try. He must have an elastic arm. David Hobbs, 100 goals for him now this season with that successful kick. But at half-time, Widnes led 12-8. In the second half, it was still Bradford putting pressure on the Widnes line. They were revelling in the conditions. Prop forward Hamer there. Now watch out for Harkin again, who cleverly switches the point of attack. The supporting Pinner gives the pass to Carl Fairbank, who's in for his 18th try of the season, but furious about a tackle after he'd actually put the ball down. Hobbs, sure-footed as ever, tacked on the goal points, and Bradford led for the first time in the match at 14-12. Simply nothing went right for Widnes, not even after Jonathan Davies came on. Former Rugby Union international Alan Tate gets himself offside. Again, referee Cross says it's a penalty for Bradford. David Hobbs in confident mood, facing an awkward kick, but not even the boos of the crowd could put him off. A long-distance effort that sailed between the posts, and at 16 points to 12, it really was turning out to be the shock result of the day. Now a good flowing movement involving McGowan and Richard Francis, chased by Martin Afire. He just puts a foot into touch. Up goes the flag. No try there, but there was a late one for Roger Simpson. And Bradford Northern at the final whistle was still tackling as hard as ever. Widnes continuing to spill the passes. And as the hooter sounded, Widnes knew they were beaten. Bradford Northern had triumphed by 22 points to 12. A result that virtually confirms they will still be playing First Division Rugby League next season.
Well, there were no such surprises at Owlerton Stadium, where Sheffield clinched promotion for the first time in this match against Chorley.
Sheffield were looking for an early boost, and Steve Evans' jinking run certainly gave them that. The perfect start. Mark Aston took the kick and maintained his record of scoring in every game this season. The next to come, a really long-range effort and a splendid try too. Mark Fleming at loose forward made the initial break, and then the burly Nick Grimaldi held off two despairing tackles to bundle his way over. Excellent try. And Aston was really on song with his kicking, and at 12-0, the Eagles were soaring, just like the ball. Chorley's first points came from a Billy Price penalty after Sheffield were caught offside. But Aston soon responded. Another well-struck penalty to restore Sheffield's lead, and everything seemed to be going according to plan. But Chorley had other ideas, and after working a good position, scrum half Jeff Bimpson sneaked around the blind side to wriggle his way over. This, though, was always going to be Sheffield's day, and when David Close brought him onto the ball, Andy Young used every ounce of his weight to plunge over. Yet again, Mark Aston spot on with the kick. 20 points to 8 at half-time, and promotion very much on the horizon. That and the day's victory were clinched when right winger Phil Cartwright bobbed up in midfield, covered in mud and in glory, romping over for the game's final try. Fittingly, the prolific Mark Aston put the icing on the cake with yet another successful conversion. And that was how it finished. Sheffield Eagles 26, Chorley Borough 8. And when the final hooter sounded, it heralded the start of a new era for one of the league's youngest clubs. Sheffield, promoted in only their 5th season, a remarkable achievement. They deserved their lap of honour and their champagne. It's been a fairy story for the club and the manager who brought them into the league, Gary Hetherington.
Gary, much jubilation at the end. What did it feel like?
Yes, very pleasing. Very pleased for everybody concerned with the club, the players and the supporters. And one of jubilation, as you would expect. It looked at one stage this season that we wouldn't get promoted, if only about 6 weeks ago. But the team have played particularly well. We've won 16 of our last 18 games and thoroughly deserved to get the success. It's come a little bit early, actually, as the results have gone over the past few weeks. It were very nice to be able to win on our last home game in front of our own supporters.
Now, you're known as a man who dedicates yourself to rugby league entirely during the winter. Presumably with First Division rugby coming up, you'll be doing that during the summer as well now.
Yes, well, anybody who's managing a rugby club, it is very much a 12-month job, of course. And yes, we've got a tough task on our hands next season, and a lot of work's got to be done, but a lot of work's had to be done in each of the past 4 seasons, summers.
Looking for new signings?
We're always looking for new signings, yes. We're always looking to strengthen the team, and our team has been strengthened over the past 4 years. And we're going into the First Division, of course. We've got a nucleus of players who will do well in the First Division, and I'm quite confident. Of course, we do need to strengthen the side, but we're always looking at strengthening, and just because we're going into the First Division doesn't mean to say we've got to go and replace players who've done particularly well for us, and who I feel will do even better next season.
Well, now today's full results. The Stones Bidden Championship. Castleford 4, Wigan 17. Salford 22, Halifax 4. Wakefield 21, St Helens 14. Warrington 8, Leeds 10. Widnes 12, Bradford 22. Division 2. Batley 19, York 20. Bramley 2, Lee 34. Fulham 22, Carlisle 26. Huddersfield 15, Hunslet 14. Heathley 14, Barrow 10. Rochdale 44, Doncaster 18. Sheffield 26, Chorley 8. Workington 10, Dewsbury 2. So the top of the championship is looking very interesting all of a sudden. Leeds are back on top, but they need a miracle with only 1 game left. Widnes are now second, 3 points ahead of Wigan. They each have 4 games left,
one of which is against each other. Widnes have a far superior points difference, and that might prove very significant. At the bottom, Halifax and Hulkingston Rovers are definitely down, and Oldham can also wave goodbye to the top flight unless they win their last 2 games and Bradford lose their last 3, all by huge margins. In the second division, the top 3 are all promoted, and in fact Gary Hetherington's Sheffield team have gone up to second today because Barrow surprisingly lost at Keighley. York are hot favourites for the other top 4 spot, which guarantees a home tie in the Premiership.
Well, now our try of the season competition, your chance to win a magnificent family day out at the Stones Bidder Premiership final with full VIP treatment. 10 tries to choose from. The first, try A, scored by Gary Schofield for Leeds against Castleford in the Yorkshire Cup final.
Bobby Beardmore along the line. Oh, and an interception by Gary Schofield. Chapman's going across to try and nail him. Schofield's gone 40, 50, 55, 60 yards, and Schofield is in for the first try.
Try B comes from the second division, scored by Ian Wigglesworth for York against Leeds.
A really low sun here on the Wigginton Road. As York with Atkins get going once more. Mulheron back inside, finds a colleague in Price. Now Wigglesworth is up there, and Ian Wigglesworth's done it. He's broken the lead ranks, and that's a super score.
Try C, a substitutes try. Paul Medley, the scorer, for Leeds at Odsall against Bradford.
Harkin's kick will be fielded by Spencer, and he's got support on his outside from Gibson. But goes it alone, and goes it very well too, and now Gibson continues the move and comes through the middle. And this is good from Leeds, and Paul Medley is streaking for the line. Paul Medley's going to make it as well, and the substitute has done it yet again.
Now try D, Alan Langer for Australia against New Zealand in the World Cup final.
Langer again, twice involved. Wally Lewis making a good run and looking for the support, and the support's there from Pearson. Langer's in. The first try of the World Cup final has gone to Alan Langer.
Try E, the man who came from Keighley, Ian Bragger for Salford against Leeds.
Bentley's making a break for Salford. Good running from Keith Bentley, or a searing run from Bentley. Great pace he showed there. Back inside, and Salford have a chance here with Gibson. Going for the line, back inside. Oh, if he holds on, has he? Yes, he has! And that's a fine try for Ian Bragger.
Try F, well, Martin Afire had to be in there somewhere. This one for Widnes against Salford.
Now a break, and the speed of Myler, and Afire's on the left. And Afire is away, and he'll be chased all the way, but surely no one can stop Martin Afire. Try number 3.
Try G, Jacques Molyneux, an early effort for France against Great Britain at Wigan.
But the French have had one or two of the better running moments, and here's Hugh Ratier going down the touchline again, and gets the pass in to Verniol. And Verniol is still going, and there are chances here because Molyneux is romping for the line, and it's a try for Jacques Molyneux.
Another Frenchman scored try H. It's Hugh Ratier for France against Great Britain at Avignon.
Kenneth Ward, who's taken a bit of a bang on the head. The French now willing to move that ball around, and Ratier sets off, and Hugh Ratier cutting inside. Oh, this is splendid running from the French captain. Ratier inside, outside, and Hugh Ratier scores a quite sensational try.
Try I is from the Great Britain captain Ellery Hanley for Wigan against Leeds at Central Park.
But again, it does speak volumes for their fitness to get through 3 matches of that sort in this short space of time.
It really does, and they're putting pressure now on there, then with Hanley away.
Gregory to Hanley. Hanley's going, and Hanley might just get all the way. Hanley, is he there? Yes, the referee points.
And finally, try J, Brian Blacker for Hull against Castleford here at Weldon Road.
Pearce. Now that's a good kick over the top. He might just follow it up himself. Did brilliant. Absolutely brilliant by Pearce, and he sent Blacker streaking for the line. He must get there, and that was superb improvisation by Gary Pearce.
So there we are, 10 tries. We want your top 3 in order from this list. A, Gary Schofield. B, Ian Wigglesworth. C, Paul Medley. D, Alan Langer. E, Ian Bragger. F, Martin Afire. G, Jacques Molyneux. H, Hugh Ratier. I. Ellery Hanley and J. Brian Blacker. The winning entry will be the one that matches David Watkins' choice for the top 3 tries, and send them please on a postcard or the outside of a sealed envelope to this address: Scrumdown, Try of the Season, Yorkshire Television, Kirkstall Road, Leeds, LS3 1JS, and we'd like them please by the 13th of April. I'll give you 2 once more: Scrumdown, Try of the Season, Yorkshire Television, Kirkstall Road, Leeds, LS3 1JS. Good luck.
And that's it. I'm sorry about our technical problems today. We'll have them sorted out by next week when we see Hull Kingston Rovers play their very last game at Craven Park, and we find out if Widnes are wobbling. Certainly after today, the championship really is wide open. Good night.
And Scrumdown next Sunday is at the earlier time of 11:30.